Welcome to Virtual Education Library. In this video, I am going to share about the ways to incorporate problem solving and critical thinking pedagogies in multicultural classrooms. But before that, I want to give a brief description about the multicultural classrooms and the importance of incorporating problem solving and critical thinking pedagogies in multicultural classrooms. The world has become diverse because people have started moving to get jobs, education, and socialize. Additionally, technology and scientific developments have also modified the world as a global village. A similar notion is reflected in the schools and classrooms since students belonging to different backgrounds and cultures study in one place. Multicultural education refers to any training that consolidates individuals' histories, texts, conventions, convictions, and values from change social foundations. It perceives the role which schools can play in building up the qualities and mentalities important to support oneself in the interdependent world. Then, the instruction framework acknowledges the cultural differences and reflects them through the learners, instructors, and different communities. It challenges all types of discrimination in schools and cultural differences by advancing democratic standards and social equity. Indeed, culture differences are blessing and beautiful, but teaching in such classroom is a challenging task for teachers because they need to meet all students' learning styles while appreciating their diversity. While most of the focus is already shifted to identifying pedagogies that can be used to teach in multicultural classrooms, the most important but ignored phenomena of teaching problem solving and critical thinking skills is still needed to be considered. Therefore, through this video, I am going to share evidence-based pedagogies, particularly problem solving and critical thinking pedagogies, which can be incorporated in multicultural classroom. So the video is divided into two parts. In the first part, I will be discussing about problem solving pedagogies, and in the later part, I will be discussing about the critical thinking pedagogies which can be utilized in multicultural classrooms. So first, let's start from problem solving pedagogies in multicultural classrooms. The first is to ensure equity in education. The primary purpose of multicultural environment is to confirm equity and empower learners to make a world where peace prevails. The multicultural classroom's reported benefits are intensified efficiency, problem-solving competency, positive attachments, and reduced prejudice and discrimination among learners. In this context, teachers need to implement activities that promote harmony and understanding of different cultures. This may be achieved by involving students of different cultures in the discussion. Also, teachers can invite students to share about their norms, cultures, and heritage. Likewise, the students can be made more responsible by involving them in community service. Through this, they will learn tolerance, acceptance, and respect for others. Other strategy is to use metacognitive teaching strategies. Research suggests that metacognition is a tool facilitates both teaching and learning in the multicultural classroom. More specifically, it focuses on the explicit teaching of critical thinking and metacognitive skills as a means of detecting misunderstanding, inconsistencies in reasoning, and errors in logic. In one study, which was conducted in 2016, it was found that positive effects of metacognitive instruction on students' problem solving. Similar metacognitive instructions can be used in multicultural classrooms to improve the problem solving of students. Assigning open-ended creative tasks. The open-ended task allows students to think in depth and connect multiple subjects and concepts with the one being asked to do. Thus, when students are allowed to work in a small group to complete open-ended creative tasks, mostly on the computer, then they become more creative. They learn to collaborate, develop greater analytical thinking, become fluent verbally, and learn to solve problems rationally. Therefore, assigning open-ended tasks will help students approach the solution of the problems in creative ways, use variety of strategies, and become better problem solvers. This is another great approach, which is to provide students multicultural literature. Multicultural literature offers a context for learning about different cultures and solving problems embedded in that. Hence, it can be a potential strategy to teach problem solving. Additionally, recent research studies have found that emotional intelligence developed by studying literature with an improved EI, a learner solves problems in more effective ways and does not regard the difference in culture as a harmful element and understand the beauty of diversity. Well-written books representing various racial, socioeconomic, and ethnic groups by authors from different cultures assist learners in appreciating diversity. Such books, when read in cooperation, make students learn non-routine problems that are not taught explicitly. Besides, mathematics literature programs create an avenue for students to be excited about solving problems that have rewarding benefits at the end. Promoting the use of computer-assisted instructions or computer-aided instructions. Instructional computing practices that are adaptable, diverse, and balanced best support various culture and individual differences. Moreover, in culturally different classes, the instructional modes, for example, how the tasks are finished, should accommodate learning styles differences through flexibility and variety. Giving a chance to work individually or in a group on computer will help students learn how to solve problems collaboratively. Suppose they are allowed to move from PC stations to different areas within the class to learn. In that case, they will kinesthetically research more about that problem and learn strategies for solving that. Meanwhile, teachers need to provide full support and post positive comments for students. Consequently, learners will exhibit respect, feel safe, and acknowledge other cultures as well. Contextualizing problems. One way of providing an authentic problem-solving learning experience to students is to situate and contextualize problems in everyday life situations. In one study, a positive impact of problem-based learning was found because they solved the problems in a group and their learning was influenced by each other. Resultantly, they cultivated critical thinking, communication, and problem-solving skills. Along with this, PBL also allowed students to learn to establish connection of mathematics problem with daily life. Lastly, unity and lifelong learning among students was developed. So this was suggested by a research. Therefore, to incorporate the problem-solving pedagogy, teachers need to contextualize the problems and give students problems which are related to daily life. Organizing students into cooperative learning groups. Cooperative learning among students promotes acceptance, compatibility, dialogue, and teamwork to solve any problem. In heterogeneous groups, both male and female students belonging from diverse culture and average and excellent group students. Conversely, students who are not allowed to work collaboratively and interact with others develop limited problem-solving skills. According to recent research, cooperative learning results in improved self-esteem of female and minority students, a better attitude of students with different backgrounds, and reduce prejudice by limiting gender, status, culture, and race gaps. In fact, it is believed that cooperative inquiry and problem-based learning go hand in hand, as by adopting these pedagogies, a community of learners can be developed and united students learn better. By learning cooperatively, students get exposed to various cultures and learn to respect them. Highlighting tactics used by students to solve problems. Students can learn better from each other and be exposed to different techniques to solve any problem when they are given a chance to share how they solve any problem. Therefore, to teach problem solving to students in multicultural classrooms, teachers should invite students randomly and ask them to share which tactics they use to solve any problem to get other students familiar with those techniques of solving problem. Providing students opportunities to practice learning. One way to help students develop problem solving in multicultural classrooms is to provide them chance to practice learning. According to a study conducted in 2005, it is said that merely knowing problem solving strategies is not enough for students. However, they should also be engaged in appropriate problem solving strategies. This implies that teachers need to offer students opportunities where they can clearly and unambiguously practice and apply their learned strategies with meaning, reason, and understand. Consequently, they will become self-directed learners and develop a positive understanding of different cultures present in their classroom. Finally, adopting problem-solving focused assessment methods. The multicultural classroom assessment plays a significant role as the instructional and pedagogical strategies are determined and mostly aligned with assessment. For that reason, to enhance students' problem-solving skills, various assessment techniques such as portfolios, observation, performance, writing, self-reflection, creative production, case study analysis, and cross-cultural tasks must be assigned to students. So all these strategies and pedagogies were related to problem solving. Now coming to the second part, which is about critical thinking enhancing pedagogies in multicultural classrooms. The first is to adopt social constructivism teaching approaches. In the social constructive pedagogy, it is believed that learning occurs through the exchange of different cultures and meanings. In one study, it is discussed that social constructive pedagogy benefits students as they engage in self-directed learning and assessment activities, work with peers, respond in meaningful and realistic ways, and become curious to know the process and reasons of any concept. Teaching through a constructivist approach supports the development of problem solving, critical thinking, collaboration, and recognition of multiple perspectives. These all notions are aligned with culturally responsive teaching. Resultantly, critical thinking skills developed by interacting with the students of different cultures. Engaging students in critical inquiry through dialogue. The critical dialogues and inquiry allow students to raise questions on existing social structures and challenge them. Through this pedagogical approach, students can identify such social structure effects on their personality and identity. By this, students do not mold into dominant cultures and their minds could not be indoctrinated. Also, they try to understand the root problem of any contention, answer questions with reasons, and take actions based on logical thinking. Critical thinking occur in a classroom setting. Social interaction and dialogue become crucial in fostering the development. This indicates that critical inquiry in the form of dialogues foster critical thinking skills in multicultural classrooms. Furthermore, it is the responsibility of teachers to facilitate critical reflection by students. Thinking about own intelligence by investigating own thoughts and being available to the chances of progress is known as critical thinking. It helps learners develop analytical, hypothetical, and social knowledge. To inculcate thinking skills in a multicultural classroom, teachers need to expose students to various scenarios and situations to understand other person's different reference frame, but with emotional and intellectual accuracy. Not only this, but teachers also need to provide an emotional space where students may deal with feelings and cognition with insights and evidence. Structuring critical thinking through role playing. Role playing allows students to visualize the application of learned content instantly. Thus, they become able to experience other person's feeling, engage in dynamic reality, encounter social situations, and be exposed to rival perspectives. Resultantly, students' critical thinking skills develop. Dramas and role plays help learners remain active and think dynamically. It is vital for them as it maintains the stability between the cognition and affective domain. A role-playing teaching approach helps learners raise their compassion level. Empathetic role-playing is a sound practice for sustaining the attitudes fundamental to critical thinkers, particularly broad-mindedness, empathy, boldness, the capacity to bear uncertainty, and multifaceted nature and inspiration, therefore making learning critical thinking skills possible through role plays. Teaching about religion and culture, the contemporary research suggests that instruction of religion and culture improve students' critical thinking skills. Culture and religious instruction improve in uh, it has been suggested in one study that culture and religious instructions improved anti-immigrant students' critical thinking skills. Religious education helps students relate to text, make the classroom more interesting, and become productive. Since there is the provision of openness, inquiry, trust, and love in religious education, therefore it encourages critical thinking skills among students. Another interesting pedagogy is observation. Various studies suggest that making students aware of cultural differences help them think critically. Again, in a study conducted in 2013 in the multicultural English classroom, critical thinking skills can be developed by engaging students in observation, providing culture-based instructions, and making them aware of the importance of cultural difference. So, the teacher may engage students in observing different cultures and determine their values in this way. Critical thinking skills can be developed. Using culturally relevant literature. Since literature helps to be familiar with variety of cultures within society, therefore it can be applicable to inculcate critical thinking. Literature unites people by having them test different cultures and traditions. Students could reflect on their background and learn about culture by incorporating multicultural literature into lesson plans. Teaching through dramas. Research studies suggest that drama helps students understand other perspectives by learning about characters and scenarios. By analyzing multiple perspectives, the critical thinking of students develop. This was supported by the study of Kalidas. According to them, dramas help students formulate and express ideas and opinions and make learning more meaningful, engaging, and active. Hence, critical thinking skills develop. Asking questions. The motivation behind critical thinking is to address why. Critical speculation starts with and lives in inquiries that reveal and issues crucial standards. Critical thinkers perceive the multifaceted nature of reality utilizing practical skepticism. They accept that all perspectives should be available for investigation. Posing critical inquiries empowers specialists to think outside the box and acknowledge thoughts by critically looking at their basic convictions, supposition, and qualities and reconsidering their answers for issues. Questioning helps students develop complex and abstract thinking, and teachers need to shift asking questions from only assessing to assessing students to develop critical thinking. For that, they need professional training on how to use Bloom's taxonomy to ask complex questions from students. Finally, helping students apply learned material. Unlike traditional thinking, critical thinking is encouraged when teachers help students to apply the learned material. It helps communicate mindfully, solve and verify solutions to problems, and avoid bias situation and regulate oneself. One such way of developing it is to help students apply learned material in real life, and questions, particularly open-ended questions, can help more in such cases because they help students build new knowledge on the basis of prior knowledge. It will also provide the opportunity to become independent learners, solve problems critically, and express themselves confidently. I hope this video has remained helpful for you to incorporate problem solving and critical thinking pedagogies in multicultural classroom, as all classrooms are multicultural. In one school, in one class, one institution, multicultural people are there. So these pedagogies could help at all levels of education. If you want to see such videos, please like, share and subscribe Virtual Education Library, and write in the comment what other videos you would like to see. Thank you for watching.